There are tales that chill the blood, stories that hint at truths humanity was never meant to know. The Call of Cthulhu, written by H.P. Lovecraft in 1926 and published in 1928, is one of those stories. A masterpiece of cosmic horror, it tells of ancient gods, forbidden knowledge, and the terrifying realization that humanity is nothing more than a fleeting dream in an uncaring universe. This is the story of the Call of Cthulhu. Our guide through this nightmare is Francis Wallen Thurston, a scholar who inherits the papers of his late grand uncle, Professor George Agnell, an expert in ancient languages. Agnell's death is suspicious. Officially, he died of a heart failure, but Thurston senses something darker, a shadow that had been creeping toward the old man ever since he uncovered certain forbidden truths. As Thurston sorts through Agnell's belongings, he discovers a strange sculpture, a small clay bas-relief of a monstrous creature, its head like an octopus, its body vaguely human, its form covered in hideous scales and wings. Alongside it, he finds a manuscript, and in those pages, the real horror begins. The manuscript tells of an encounter in 1908, when a New Orleans police inspector named Legras sought Agnell's expertise. Legras had led a raid deep into the swamp, where his men came upon a degenerate cult performing unspeakable rites. The cultists, a mix of criminals and outcasts, worshipped ancient beings they called the Great Old Ones. Their chants spoke of Cthulhu, a godlike entity that slumbers beneath the sea, waiting for the stars to align so he may rise and reclaim the earth. Legras had seized the strange idol from the cult, a figure identical to the sculpture in Agnell's possession. Its resemblance to the creature in the swamp's cult chant was unmistakable.
Andree Magdaf, Cthulhu la Wagna Fadam. In his house at R'lah, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. Andree Magdaf, Cthulhu la Wagna Fadam. In his house at R'lah, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming.
Agnell matches this idol to artifacts found in Greenland decades earlier, linking this nightmare worship across continents and centuries. The cult is ancient, its roots tangled with mankind's earliest fears. The manuscript also recounts the strange case of Henry Anthony Wilcox, a young artist in Providence. In 1925, Wilcox approached Agnell with a bizarre bas-relief of his own, the same monstrous figure, claiming it had come to him in a dream. Wilcox described visions of vast ancient cities with impossible architecture, massive stone blocks, cyclopean in scale, and non-Euclidean angles that defied all logic. He heard voices, guttural, alien voices, whispering in a language he couldn't understand. Even more disturbing, during the period of Wilcox's dreams, reports came in from around the world. Sailors, artists, and the mentally ill all suffered from strange nightmares. There were also reports of mass hysteria, violent outbursts, and even suicides. Agnell began to suspect that these events were connected. Something beneath the surface of reality was stirring, and sensitive minds like Wilcox's could feel it. Thurston's search leads him to the most horrifying part of the story, an account of Gustav Johansen, a Norwegian sailor. Johansen's ship, the Emma, had encountered a derelict vessel crewed by cultists. A violent battle left only a few survivors. Then, as if the sea itself was cursed, the Emma found itself near a strange new island, a landmass thrust up from the depths of the recent earthquake. The island was like nothing on Earth. Johansen describes titanic stone structures, grotesque carvings, and doors that seemed to defy geometry, as if space itself wrapped around them. The crew explored only to unleash the nightmare imprisoned there. Cthulhu, the being that emerged defied sanity. A monstrous titan, its body part dragon, part human, part cephalopod, eyes glowed with alien intelligence, wings unfurled, and its very form bent the minds of those who gazed upon it. The sailors fled in terror, most perished or went mad. In a final act of desperation, Johansen rammed the ship into the creature, watching its form collapse like a bursting bubble. But Cthulhu was not destroyed, merely momentarily defeated. The island sank once more beneath the waves, taking the great terror with it. Johansen survived, but he was a haunted man, pursued by the cult and terrified of the knowledge he now carried. He died under mysterious circumstances, his account hidden until Thurston uncovered it. Thurston pieces it all together. The dreams, the cult, the madness, the sailor's ordeal. It all points to one terrible truth. Cthulhu is real. Beneath the ocean lies the city of R'lyeh, where the great old one slumbers, waiting for the stars to align so he may rise again. The earthquake that briefly raised R'lyeh triggered waves of psychotic disturbance across the globe. Sensitive souls felt the call. The cult rejoiced, but the time was not yet right, and the city sank again into the abyss. Thurston ended his account in dread. He fears that by uncovering these secrets, he has invited doom upon himself. He dreads the day when the stars will align, when R'lyeh will rise again, and when Cthulhu will awaken to claim the earth. Thurston writes,
"May heaven forgive the folly of him who delves too deep into the secrets of the cosmos. For in this universe, there are horrors man was never meant to know."
The Call of Cthulhu is more than just a horror story. It's a glimpse into Lovecraft's vision of cosmic horror, the universe vast, indifferent, and terrifying, knowledge that can shatter the mind, and ancient forces waiting in the dark, patient, powerful, and beyond comprehension. Even today, the name Cthulhu echoes through pop culture, inspiring films, games, books, and art. But at its core, this story reminds us of one humbling truth. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, we are small, and perhaps that is the greatest horror of them all.